Because that's the thing in common, is someone in relation or some form of commonality
Right.
you start with.
But you had the commonality with the person who introduced you too, by the way. You remember that?
Of course.
So David, who's a friend of mine, is also a friend of Herb. So if you got somebody to introduce you, you already had that place of commonality. Now I had other commonality, which I took advantage of, right?
How do you do that? Do you research to figure out other common
Oh,
ground?
I do all kinds of research. Yeah, and I think with the internet, if you don't do research when you're building networks, you're an idiot.
That's a good point.
Because people talk about cold calls. You know why extroverts are not needed in sales anymore?
Why is that?
Because of the internet. You need extroverts
Good point.
when you had no information. You had to be really, really super friendly over the phone. If you have, and by the way, introverts are far better salespeople than extroverts.
What's one major reason why an introvert could surpass?
There's 4 or 5 reasons. One is they're super listeners. Extroverts are lousy listeners. They can't wait for you to shut up so they can talk. The second thing is
true.
they seek depth, not breadth. The third thing is they're not afraid of silence. They think about their answer before they give you an answer. They think about what you said. The extrovert is dying to talk.
Wow.
The next thing is that they're far more interested in you than they are themselves. Now, that is the definition of a great salesperson. Now, the problem is most introverts believe that introversion is equivalent to shyness, which it is not. Introversion is a temperament, right? And you have people like me who are closet extroverts. I presented to 80 people on Monday. Did you think I sounded like an introvert?
No,
I've taught myself.
Inspiring.
I've taught myself to be that way. Now, this afternoon, I'm going to drive 6 hours home, and I'm going to love it being by myself.
When you're alone, are you listening to music? Are you listening to audiobooks? Are you just in your moment?
I never listen to audiobooks. I read books.
Okay.
And I
Big reader.
read 591 business books since 1981. I read 25 a year, and I read 100 book summaries a year. But I like to read, and I like to underline, and I like to make notes, and so I don't do audiobooks. I'm either listening to the radio or I'm talking on the phone. Now, in a 6-hour drive, I will usually be on the phone at least 3 hours. So I'll just tell people, hey, here's a good time to get in touch with me. So I tell people all the time, the easiest way to get in touch with me, and by the way, I think this is true for anybody. Number one, you need their cell number. The faster you get you need their cell number better than you need their email.
Yeah.
You get their cell number, and then I say, the best way to get in touch with me, text me, tell me who you are, because I meet a lot of people. And then what I'll do is I'll capture your number, right? And I'll put it in my phone, and I'll create a contact. So when you text me again, I know who you are.
Yeah.
And then just ask me, when's a good time to talk? And then I'll look at my calendar and I'll say, okay, I got 6 hours. I'm going to leave here at 3 o'clock today, and I'll be in the car till probably 8:30 or 9 o'clock. So call during that time, and I'll probably be available. If I'm not available, I'll call you right back.